everyone, it's Kezia over here from KezziesCorner. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Kezia and this is my little corner. If you like what you see, I hope you can join my lovely family. It would mean the world to me. And if you don't want to miss a video of mine, then you can always press the bell button and it will notify you every single time I post a video. Today's video is going to be about this. Yes, this. This palette from Urban Decay, the new Ultraviolet Palette. I was scrolling on my Instagram as I normally do and I saw, oh, wait a minute, that's a new palette from Urban Decay. Let me see it. And it had these gorgeous purple shades and I was like, well, my makeup collection is missing out on some purples. So I was like, hello, new palette. And well, I got it. And this is the palette from the inside. And basically today I'm going to be testing it out and I created this very look that I am wearing currently. So if you want to see how I created this look and what I thought of the palette, then keep on watching. And if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, you know the drill, and subscribe if you want to see more. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with today's video. So let's begin. I first use the Revolution primer and I prime my lids, and those are the products that I use for my brows. So here you can see the palette from Urban Decay, the Ultraviolet Palette, and it is such a gorgeous, beautiful palette, and I'm so in love with it. So the first shade I use is basically called Trippin, and I apply this all over my lid. The second shade that I use is called Mind Slip, and I put this above my crease. I basically use my Milani blending brush to apply this shade. All the products I'm using are also listed down below, including the brow products, just if you were wondering. Okay, so the next shade that I use is called Optimised, and I basically apply this into the socket of my eyelid and as my outer corner. And I apply this again using my Milani blending brush because you know me, I use the same brush. I kind of build up the shade and I go back in with the shade Mind Slip, in fact, to build up the color. And it's important to do this, and it's important to be patient. Okay, so the next shade I use is called Euphoric, and I absolutely love this shade, and I apply this in my outer corner and also in my inner corner as well. And I'm using an e.l.f. blending brush. This brush is so old, but I just love it when I'm applying a halo eye. So I apply my shadows of the halo eye always with this brush, and I find that it works wonders. I also apply that shade in my crease a little bit, and I build up the color because it wasn't as pigmented as I hoped. So the concealer I'm using is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and I'm applying the Halo Eye concealer, you know, to create that Halo Eye effect. And I apply this using my Wycon trusty brush. Okay, so the next shade I use is called VR, and I apply this as my Halo Eye shade. And I loved applying this with my fingers, basically. And then what I do is I build up the shades that I already had applied. So again, I use a shade called Euphoric, Optimize, and Mind Slip, and I just go back and forth. And as I said earlier, you kind of have to be a little bit patient with these shades because they're not as pigmented as I would have hoped for, but they are very buildable nonetheless. I'm actually noticing how spotted I am in this video. Okay. So for moisturizer, I'm using the E-Cooking Moisturizing Serum. And for a primer, I'm using the Revolution Glow Beam Dream Primer. Wow, it has a lot of words in this primer. So today for foundation, I actually used a mixture of the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation and the Stay Naked Foundation. And I actually always have loved this combination because my Stay Naked foundation is quite light. So I actually need the All Nighter, and the All Nighter sometimes actually oxidizes. So like this, it's like I found my perfect shade. So yes. Again, for concealer, what I'm going to be using is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. And then I actually didn't show the powder that I actually used, but I actually used the Catrice Extreme Blur Loose Powder. I absolutely love this powder and I swear by it. And I basically baked underneath my eyes where I applied the concealer, and then I also applied the powder all over my face. As you can see, then I'm just like fluffing it away. And then I'm using the shade called Lucid in my inner corners. And I did set around my nose with a powder because I noticed that it was flaking. So yes, but I absolutely love this Lucid shade. And then I applied the shade called Cyberpunk as my eyeliner in sort of my waterline, you could say. And I applied this in the outer and the inner parts where I actually applied Euphoric on my top lid. And then in the middle, again, I applied the shade VR. And then I blended it out using the shade called Mind Slip. And then I basically curled my lashes and I applied the L'Oreal Paradise Primer Extatic Mascara and then the actual waterproof mascara of L'Oreal as well. And I absolutely love the combination that these two actually gave. The results were amazing. I absolutely love them. And I applied them to my lower lashes as well. So for bronzer, I'm using my Wycon bronzing powder, and I actually also contoured my nose. I don't know what was happening, but apparently I did. For highlighter, I'm using my Benefit highlighter in the shade called Cookie, and I absolutely love this highlighter, and I applied this also on my brow bone. And then also, I guess, finally, I use the Golden Rose Creamy Lip Color in the shade 106, which I'm in love with. And then to set everything up, I use my Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray. And basically those are all the products that I used for today's look. The palette overall, it was lovely. It had like these unique shades which I didn't have much in my collection. However, as I've shared with you, the colors weren't as pigmented as I would have liked. So I need to build them up so you get the effect that you would want. But yeah, that was the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, then subscribe. Would appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video.